If you decide you are tired of guilt tripping yourself, and you decide that you are no longer willing to let anyone else make you feel guilty when you haven't done anything wrong, your behavior will change. You will feel empowered and confident, and you will start standing up for yourself. And guess what's going to happen next? Your guilt trippers will not like this. They are not going to be happy at all. They have been used to getting what they want by making you feel badly about yourself. And when they start to realize that this isn't going to work for them any longer, they are going to get mad. Now, I want to tell you that I have been married to a saint of a man for 25 years. Alex is as good as they come. And I know that because before I met him, I was married for 19 years to a man who had major issues with anger and alcohol. One morning I woke up and I decided I could not do it one more day. So I made an appointment with a counselor. And I walked in and I said, "How long do we have today?" And she said, 50 minutes. "What would you like to accomplish?" And I said, "Well, in that time, what I'd like to do is have you tell me how I can get a divorce and make it okay for my soon-to-be ex-husband and my 3 teenage children." She said, "Okay." So I took a deep breath, and then I started telling her how I expected this to impact each one of my children and my soon-to-be ex-husband, and I went on and on and on about how they were going to respond and act and how it would affect them, and then I looked at my watch, and I said, "Oh, we're almost out of time." And she said, "Yeah, that's right. I had been talking for 45 minutes. Not sure I even took a breath." But she said, "I'm just going to give you one piece of advice." And I said, "Okay, I am ready. Bring it on." And she said, "I want you to get in your own shoes and stay in them." And I said, "I don't think I understand." And she said, "Obviously you don't." She said, "You are so wrapped up in everybody else's wants and needs and feelings that you have no idea where your own begin or end. So I want you to get in your shoes and allow everybody else to stand in theirs." And I was like, "Can I do that?" And she said, "Yes, you can." And I said, "But my husband is going to get so angry." And she said, "Let him. That's his choice. It's not your responsibility to manage that." I was like, wow, that is a revolutionary idea for me. So what you need to know is if you decide you're not going to do this any longer, your guilt trippers are going to pull every emotional tool they have out of their bag of tricks to pull you back into line. And so it's going to take you some practice to get used to the idea of allowing them to respond however they need to. So if your guilt tripper is the type of person that likes to rant and rave and scream and holler, just walk out of the room and let them scream. If they are the type of person that gives you the cold shoulder, just don't try to warm them up. Let them sit and pout it out in their own frosty corner. And if they are a crier, just give them the time and the space to cry. Don't try to bring a Kleenex and mop it all up and make it okay for them. When my granddaughter Melissa was about 5 years old, we had a neighborhood party. All of the kids were outside playing, and a little boy was throwing food at her. And oh, she was just crying and wailing and just raising such a ruckus. One of the young dads went out, and he had kind of seen what was happening, and he said, "Melissa, are you hurt?" And she said, "No." And he said, "Okay." He said, "So how long, honey, do you think you need to cry?" She said, "I don't know." And he said, "Well, tell you what, you just stay out here and cry as long as you need to, and the rest of us are going to go back in the house and play." Well, I think she beat most of us through the door. But that young man was so bright. He gave her the permission very kindly to stand in her own shoes. And he also let her know that she wasn't going to ruin the party for everyone else. So if you decide to let your guilt trippers stand in their own shoes, it will take some courage, but I promise you can get there. Then every morning when you wake up, I'd like for you to take just a moment to think about how you would feel if someone were doing for you all of the things you are doing for your care receiver. And my guess is that you would be incredibly grateful. So feel good about the fact that you have the physical ability and the generosity of heart to be a caregiver. And then I hope you will allow your guilt trippers to learn how to manage their own feelings, meet their own needs, and stop expecting other people to do all of it for them. And when you can do that, I think you should throw a party, because that certainly is an accomplishment worth celebrating.